Hello and welcome back to MCNN's Secret Life Recap. My name is Salem.
And I'm Pixie.
And we're back for week 6 of Secret Life.
This week was a big one for longtime fans of the Life series, seeing the long-awaited return of former player Rendog. Tango couldn't make it this session, so Ren helpfully filled in. Thankfully, no one noticed.
Hey Tango! Hey Tango!
Behold, it is I, Tango!
Rendog, ladies and gentlemen! Rendog has joined the game. I'm so happy Ren's here.
He spent much of his session working on a redstone chicken farm, and occasionally promising frozen shards for decked out to various players. This was definitely Dungeon Master approved.
Careful viewers will have noticed another thing returning this week. Some previously failed tasks are making a comeback. GeminiTay got a second crack at her task from 2 weeks ago, when she had to lie to everyone. Fortunately, this time around, the deceptive dialogue was only 30 minutes instead of the whole session.
This is definitely going to be the shortest 30 minutes of my life.
Rango Dog also had a repeat task this week, having to summon back an imaginary friend. This time, instead of Torchy, he had to imagine someone called, what's this? Pongo Tack? Weird name.
The red names also had several duplicate tasks between them this week, a lot of them involving hitting people with swords or anvils.
Completion over at the old
you hit someone with a sword?
Heart Foundation. Pretty good.
The florist sends his regards!
Florist?
For more on who the florist is, let's talk to our field team.
Thanks, Salem. Red tasks weren't the only thing to watch out for this session. 2 non-reds were also tasked with causing harm to others. Joel's task sent him after Scott specifically, directing him to cause 10 hearts of damage without being caught. To accomplish this, Joel recruited some friends, the Reds. His first subcontractor was Jimmy, who he instructed to deal some damage and leave Scott with a message. The florist sends his regards.
My task today is I'm an assassin, Jimmy. I'm an assassin, and I have one target that I can take care of. However, I can use other people and any means necessary. I've just got to get 10 hearts of damage or more off them. My target's Scott, Jimmy. Rather than saying the assassin sends his regards, how about you say the florist sends his regards?
After spending quite some time chasing after Scott, Jimmy recruited Martin to join in on the special flower deliveries. Joel also turned to Lizzie, who was more than happy to help her husband, upping the ante and planning to send Scott to his doom in the void.
My task is that I have to kill or do at least 10 hearts damage to Scott without him finding out. Please help me and do damage to Scott.
Can I push him into the void?
You can.
Meanwhile, Joel also took matters into his own hands with a familiar TNT trap. And just like last time he tried this several series ago, the TNT minecart hooked up to the front door of Scott's cottage didn't have the explosive results that Joel wanted.
Oh my gosh. It's a good thing whoever did that is bad with traps.
Joel Beans!
Scott used his experience from last week's tag game to stay well out of Jimmy's reach for most of the session. In total, Joel's hired hands only cost Scott 4.5 hearts. Finally putting the pieces together, Joel's trap-making prowess sent Scott on the right trail to find his would-be assassin.
Okay, I'm gonna go because Jimmy's charging at me again.
In the final confrontation between the two, Scott made his accusation correctly, succeeding his task in causing Joel to fail. His success came with a side of flame arrows and Joel holding a grudge, but at least he got replacement hearts for the damage that Scott sustained at his hands.
Joel, is your task to try and take 10 hearts of damage? Yeah, Joel, you fail. Shame.
Other than doing the florist's dirty work, Jimmy had his own task to worry about. His first task had him gathering blue stained glass to make the dive off of Gem and the Scott's diving board deadlier. Sadly, or luckily, depending on who you ask, his scheme was discovered by Pearl, causing him to fail his first task.
Oh, but there...
No! Oh my gosh!
Jimmy's next task was to punch someone into lava. Sounds easy enough, especially if your fellow big red dog has a lava bucket on hand. However, with a lack of convenient targets, Jimmy decided to turn on Martin and attempt to punch him into the very lava he provided. It truly is a dog-eat-dog world out here.
Whoa, hold on a minute. Hold up a sec. What was that? Were you trying to push me into lava, even though I'm a red? What was that?
Speaking of betrayal, our second murderous non-red of the session was Pearl, who was tasked with causing damage to 3 greens by following the instructions of red name players. Her first assignment, given by Lizzie, was to set Etho on fire. Jimmy's instructions were much more detailed. Get Skiz to give you something good, then crit him with a sword. Jimmy even provided Pearl with the diamonds for a better sword, to really put a point on it. Last but not least, Martin's instructions were simple. Use dripstone to hurt someone.
I need you to take some hearts from Etho.
Etho? Okay, you know, actually that might be easy. He's washed up, okay?
Ooh, I want you to set him on fire. Here's a flint and steel.
On fire!
Scott caught on to what Pearl was doing and tried to stop her by getting his yellow ally, Gem, to guess Pearl's task. However, with Gem forced to constantly lie for her own task, Pearl was able to get away with it and call her mission a success.
I'm looking for you for so dang long. I don't care how I do this at this point. Just burn, sir. Just burn.
The florist sends his regards. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Goose. Scott's survival this week did come at a cost. In an attempt to bring about a dramatic death, Lizzie lured him to the end, planning to knock him into the void. Unfortunately, the downfall she brought about was her own. A full 30 hearts couldn't save her from a tumble off the end island and into the void.
That was 1 heart of damage.
Oh, that's not a lot.
No, the spang hits them.
Oh my god!
What's it?
Oh my god. Oh my god, why did I throw the ender pearl? I was panicking, I was too busy. Well, that marks the end of my secret life.
Lizzie's final death marks the first person eliminated from the game this season. We here at MCNN are very sad to see her go. We'll miss her evil schemes.
First, I will devour the last slice of cake from my failure of a slumber party, and then I will move on to my next course. Sweet, sweet revenge. Who are you trying to keep out?
Oh, you know, particular people.
Just dangerous people.
Yeah, dangerous people. Right, like the kind of people that might want to exact some kind of evil revenge on anyone who didn't turn up to their party. Or people that turned up and ate all the cake.
It has been a joy to have her back in the series, and hopefully we'll see her back in the game when the next one rolls around.
However, Lizzie dying first does mean that, for the first time in any life series, Jimmy's SolidarityGaming is not the first permadeath of the season. As fans who have been rooting for him since Season 1, we have taken the news very normally.
Before Lizzie died, she had one last chaotic pursuit, chasing Skiz around the server while he was on very low health.
No! What was that about? Oh, run!
Hey,
Run!
Skiz!
Run!
You can't run from me. You can't run forever.
Oh, much longer can I do this? Lizzie, you want to give me your heart? I mean, can you
That
imagine?
would be
That would be something special.
really cheeky of you to ask, actually.
I know.
When you know I'm trying to kill you.
I know. You want to give me your heart? Come on. Wouldn't it feel good? What if you just gave me your heart and then you killed me? I mean, that's a flex. Huh?
You know what? You're right.
That's a flex. That is a flex.
I'll give you my heart, but that means I am gonna kill you.
Oh my God, you're the best. I can't thank you yet because somebody's trying to kill me. Woo!
Who would do that?
I just finagled a heart out of my attempted murderer. Shiami. Run!
So if anyone has a right to be happy about this development, it's probably him.
Wait, Lizzie's look at the tab list.
Lizzie's dead.
Wait, that's what that was?
And Skiz just died. Wait, Lizzie's dead. Guys, I'm not the first one out. Oh my gosh.
You're not the first one
I'm not the first one out. I'm not the first one out.
Oh, good job.
Sorry, Lizzie.
Okay, maybe Jimmy can have this one too.
But before we move on to other news, the rest of us have a funeral to go to.
We are gathered here today to mourn the loss of LDShadowLady, but more importantly, to celebrate her life. Lizzie was known for her fantastic builds and love for all animals, especially camels. We'll all miss her love of humor and mischief and her fun parties that no one showed up to. At least she died as she lived, trying to kill people in complicated revenge schemes. Rest well, Lizzie.
Let's move on to some of the more fun things that happened this session.
Thanks, Pixie. This week, Beat-Ups, Scar, and Impulse all competed to get the golden egg of victory. The Secret Keeper set them against each other to see who could win 3 games of chicken against the others. The catch? None of them are quite sure what a game of chicken is.
I just can't come up with that many chicken games.
It's like British
competition.
chicken.
Do you guys have chicken competition? Do we need eggs? I've got eggs. Hold on, let me get some.
But despite that, they jump right in. The first round sees competitors facing down the mighty berry bush. The 3 players stand inside berry bushes, daring each other to be the last one out. That is, until they realize you only take damage from a berry bush if you move.
This game sucks!
Can we do a different one? This was terrible.
I won!
The next game deals a lot more damage when Beat-Ups leads the other 2 to Joel's double zombie spawner. Scar, gunning for the win, pushes Beat-Ups into the horde of zombies. Beat-Ups' 30.5 hearts aren't enough to save him, and he loses a life.
Now I feel bad.
Impulse surrenders after that, not wishing to be the next yellow of the group. The 2 survivors go find Beat-Ups, who accepts the outcome with grace.
What the heck? Freaking Scar, I'm gonna kill you! Get out of the way! Etho, I'm borrowing the horse!
Luckily for Beat-Ups, the Heart Foundation comes in clutch, declaring him the recipient of their gift hearts for this week. Beat-Ups got lucky, but his odds were improved because of all the people removed from the pool. Cleo, Etho, and Grian were all expelled from the raffle for cheating the system in order to receive hearts. On top of what Grian and Etho did last week, Cleo also got on their bad side by trying to scam a heart out of Tango this week.
I have to give a heart to Cleo, is this correct? I've been told.
Yes. She's actually banished from the Heart Foundation.
Why is that?
Jimmy also got removed from the raffle for all his murder shenanigans last session. And Pearl and Gem might not be safe either, but not even they are sure about that one.
Everyone just told me to tell you that you're banished, Jim. I'm sorry. You too, Pearl. Banished.
Why? What did I do?
And back to the chicken games. Round 3 was all about the MLG. Beat-Up, Scar, and Impulse competed to be the first to make a successful water bucket landing, which Beat-Ups absolutely dominated. This ties the score at 1 peach each going into Game 4.
Yes!
Oh, no! I didn't do it.
Oh, no, I got it.
damage.
I got it.
This is the champion.
Oh, we are all tied up.
The next 3 games share an end trend. Game 4 has the contestants throwing ender pearls as far as they can, with Impulse winning that one. Games 5 and 6 have them competing to draw an Enderman's aggro. Scar and Beat-Em must win one of those each, tying the score again. Facing a 3-way tie, they decided to rely on a zombie to settle the score, spawning one between the 3 of them and declaring whoever had attacked the winner. Beat-Ups was the lucky victim, taking the final point needed to win.
Oh, it got me! It got me!
It got Beat-Ups.
I won!
You won the winner.
I won!
But they weren't done yet, having realized a flaw in the Secret Keeper's plan. The task never said that only one person could win. So while Scar wins one round with the zombie, Impulse gets his 3rd point in a totally fair way.
First person to punch the other wins.
So in the end, everyone's a winner except the Secret Keeper.
Suck it, Secret Keeper.
Let's go this time.
Back to you, Salem.
Thanks, Rosaic. Speaking of the Heart Foundation, let's take a look at some of the other fun stuff they got up to.
Skizzleman got tasked with being the server therapist, giving his fellow players advice when they felt down or confused.
All right, so you're nervous about Martin. I can understand. You know what I'm going to do, dude? I'm going to give you some of the advice you gave me in that dungeon, man. I want you to pretend Martin is a Ravager. Just stay calm. Do what B-Dubs does.
Aha!
Huh?
Yes. Yes, I'm in control then.
You're in control, buddy.
Of the Reds.
Of the Reds. You're in control of them. He has complete control of this. B-Dubs is feeling better. Yes. You have a great day.
He did such a good job with this that we want to know if he takes our insurance.
Meanwhile, Bigby was also supposed to help people, but minus any actual helpfulness. His task was to warn people about potential damage way too late for his warnings to be useful.
Okay, remember when you were like in the middle over there? By the campfire thing and you took some damage? I mean, you could have avoided that by just not walking on the campfire.
Thank you. Thank you for rubbing that in. I appreciate that. Of the many times I've taken damage today, that was one of the more embarrassing ones. Yes.
For all the advice being given out this week, no one needed it more than ZombieCleo. The task of stand in a circle of different flowers and spin isn't too tricky, but Cleo didn't know that that was their task. Instead, everyone else got to know their task, and she was stuck in a game of hot and cold, trying to figure it out before the end of the session. The path of trial and error to get to that point led to some interesting conversations.
That was very close.
That was hot, I would say. That was really hot, Cleo.
Yeah, that was really
that
hot,
was
Cleo.
So hot.
So hot.
I know I'm hot. You don't have to keep saying it.
Cleo also found the time to host a preemptive funeral for Jimmy, assuming that he'd die soon. He took it well.
Here lies Jimmy, gone but not forgotten. What's in the chest?
It's a representation of Jimmy.
Rotten flesh. Rotten. Rotten?
I've made some bread for the funeral for the wake.
No, you can't. I'm not dead.
Are we killing Jimmy?
No, why are you here?
And now is probably a good time to talk about what Cleo's teammates were up to. It can't have been that serious. Holy Herobrine, that's a wither.
Thanks, Salem. This week on Who Would Win, it's a 1v1 between the Wither and the Warden. But before we catch up with that chaos, let's take a look at Mumbo's eventful yellow life. Mumbo's task this week was to be a terrible butler to Grian, doing everything that he was directed to do, but always slightly wrong.
I think I'm going to pass this with flying colours because that's me in a nutshell. That's how I go through life.
He was quick to inform Grian of his task and endeavored to stick by Grian's side for the rest of the session. But this posed a bit of a problem for everyone involved.
If you're my butler, you can't know what I'm doing, otherwise I fail.
Oh, good.
Mumbo's a bit of a problem.
Oh no! This was hard enough already.
Etho and Grian both had to re-roll for hard tasks this week, and they received a matching set. Etho was tasked with bringing a warden to the surface, while Grian had to summon a wither. They then had to start a boss battle, specifically a battle between bosses. After briefly sending Mumbo away so they could scheme,
Do it together or separate?
Okay, cool.
And then ensuring he would be unable to guess their tasks as a yellow, the group set off to prepare.
Mumbo, guess what my task is?
Defeat the wither with Etho.
No. Guess what Etho's is?
In the Nether with Grian, Mumbo's suggestion to ride a strider to their destination was vetoed by his new boss.
Don't get on it.
Unfortunately, since he had to follow directions poorly, he hopped on the strider anyway without a means to control it and proceeded to panic.
It will be fine. No, it won't be fine. Hold on, I need to do something before it starts waddling away.
Even with Grian's attempt at helping him, his not-so-successful dismount bounced him straight into the lava, moving him on to his red life. It was a heartbreaking turn of events, but Grian didn't have time to mourn.
You can get out now.
He still had a Wither Assembly kit to acquire. Navigating to the fortress, he managed to get the 3 skulls and return to the overworld, but not without first dodging some damaging blaze attacks. Meanwhile, Etho's experience was far more rocky, quite literally, since the coordinates he was given had him digging a hole all the way down near the big dog's base to reach the deep dark. Armed with wool, a noise machine, a name tag, and some ladders, Etho went down to bring a monster up, taking a page out of Tango's double life playbook.
Oh, that's where the Shrieker is?
After a brief meeting at their base, during which they were visited by a few uninvited guests.
Just birds, sir.
Go get a heart. See you guys. No!
What's that about?
Oh, run!
Etho and Grian were ready to wake up the Warden.
3. One more should do it for sure, right? Why isn't it going?
There is behind.
Once they spawned their new and dangerous friend, the pair made a mad dash for the Secret Keeper with the Warden in hot pursuit. Once at spawn, Grian summoned the Wither and their battle commenced.
Don't do it now, What are you doing?
With so many players drawing aggression, getting the mobs to pay attention to each other turned out to be the hardest part of the task. Several lives were lost in the crossfire, with Big B withering to yellow and Jimmy and Mumbo both losing their final lives to the Warden. With the Wither spending most of its time chasing Scar, he and Etho had to log out at just the right time to get the true battle to start.
Let's both log out. Yeah. They're going! They're doing it! Yes!
The Warden went down first, leaving the Wither with its eyes on Scott. The server worked together to take it down.
Got it!
But not without one more life lost. Grian, who had been perilously low on hearts all session, was knocked to yellow right as he was attempting to cash in his completed task. In the end, the real winners of the fight were the ones who avoided the whole thing. Pearl and Beat Up steered clear of the chaos by building a skeleton farm, and Martin, who was smarter than his fellow surviving Reds, fled from the fight completely. And as long as nobody tries to bring the Ender Dragon to the overworld, this should be the most dangerous the server will get this season. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Lori. Amid all of the session's going-ons, Martin was mostly minding his own business. He spent a lot of the session off doing his own thing, hitting people and dealing some damage anytime the opportunity arose. He successfully completed 4 whole tasks this week, eagerly taking them as an excuse to do some harm. He also took a brief detour to induct Mumbo into the Red Lives.
Welcome, big dog. Oh.
Hello, Martin. I am both upset and excited to be joining you today.
Mumbo wasn't very interested in joining Martin's alliance, or any alliance for that matter.
Mumbo of all people. The mountains stick together, Mumbo.
No!
Oh my gosh. Quick, take the anvil. Yoink.
And every time you achieve a red task, you pop a bone in the box as a little treat. It's our way of tallying up.
A, I don't have any bones. B, just because I'm red doesn't mean I'm joining your stupid gang.
This man.
Stupid gang.
Stupid gang.
Instead, he opted to try his hand at a TNT cannon, something that's never gone poorly and will surely go well for him today.
What the heck is Mumbo doing over there? There's TNT just out in the open with a button. You think I could hit the button?
Hit the button and run.
Do it. Do it.
Oh, it's a wood
He's up
button as
there.
well. Oh, goodness me. Oh, he's right. Oh, no.
Oh, my knife! Oh, no! Oh my gosh!
Despite his explosive plans blowing up in his face, Mumbo still managed to go out with a bang, bringing this week's permadeaths up to 3. On that note, here's a list of everyone who got eliminated this week.
And here's the list of everyone's tasks. This week saw more successes than fails, with only 3 players, Joel, Jimmy, and Mumbo, falling short on their tasks. On the other hand, both Skiz and Gem claimed successes after several weeks of failed tasks. This is doubly impressive considering Gem's task was almost identical to the one she failed 2 weeks ago.
And that should be it for this week's Secret Life recap. We'll be back next week for what we're sure will be a very exciting session.
Martin is currently the only red left, but if this session is any indication, he probably won't be alone for long.
We're eager to see what chaos might be coming our way, but until then, my name is Pixie.
And I'm Salem.
And we'll see you all next time.
We are gathered here again to mourn 2 other people that died. Sure, Mumbo went down heroically fighting a warden, but who cares? Jimmy's not the first one out!